risky behavior.
I'm on YouTube and I'm just strolling around and I saw a very interesting title. Let me stop playing. It's called Hoflation: Rules of Modern Dating and Understanding Women. It's complicated. Yeah. I'm telling you, anybody would have clicked on this. So anyway, excuse me. Let's go ahead and jump into this video. I ain't never seen this video before at all. And it could be one of them videos where I'm just like listening to people talk and I'm just like, when I watch these videos sometimes, like when they talk to random people on the street, I'm like, people really think this? They really think this way? But I never seen this video, so they could say some profound stuff and I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. I'm glad I looked at this. But on the other hand, they could say something. I'm just like, no wonder dating is hard. And that's how I look at most of these videos. I'm like, no wonder they struggle in dating. Cause people just be thinking weird stuff and they just ask. It's just crazy. And shouts out to the people that get out there with these microphones. What's this YouTube channel that I'm looking at right now? I think it's called what? It's Complicated. Which I think most people just overcomplicate life, dating, and everything else. I think the most cliche thing that is the most genius thing is actually be yourself, work hard, and everything will be okay. But I think people think too highly of strangers that they meet and they just overcomplicate it instead of making life and love, which is so simple and so easy. Listen to my voice and how I say easy. It is. And I'm going to prove you wrong. I just did a video before this and I tried my best. It was on the friend zone, right? Because I heard some people talking about it on Clubhouse. And I was like, man, let me, and I regretted that video. I'm still put it out because I took my time to record it. And I just don't care because I don't do this for money. But I was just irritated because they was talking about the friend zone and stuff. And it's the same channel. He's walking around asking people questions about the friend zone. And I was just like, this is just like the dumbest thing in the world. If somebody is romantically interested in you, then just tell them you're not interested and move on with your life. Why keep them around? Are you that desperate for a friend? Let them go.
Prostitution was legal, do you think we'd have a better society?
Yes,
Why?
because you ain't got to be worried about the police coming after you if you want to buy some pussy.
I stand corrected. That man was absolutely correct. And I stand by and support his answer. This video gonna be good.
Come to Las Vegas and they think every woman prostitute. You know, if you're out here in your dress, you're prostitute. So they treat you like trash. They talk to you like trash. They tell you trashy stuff because automatically you're a prostitute. So absolutely not, no, it wouldn't.
I actually think it would solve a lot of society's problems. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but I do think it would be solving a lot of society's problems. It would be solving so much sex trafficking, male trafficking, child trafficking, like so much things would actually be solved if this actually got legalized.
I stand by her answer as well.
Personally, do I want to do it? I mean, no. But does it bring down the price? Does it bring down the value? It does. And it brings down the value on other women. And that's the problem. You know, that's a solution. But like with us, it's like as men, we pay too much. We go through too much. And it's the truth.
Why is porn legal but prostitution isn't?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, what's the difference between being paid for sex and being paid for sex in front of a camera?
Some way, some company can own it, own the rights, and stream it the right way, and be able to, you know.
Why is it okay for you to be a porn star, but it's not okay for you to be a prostitute? I don't get that. Honestly, I don't.
If prostitution was legal, what do you think would happen to OnlyFans?
It would go down the drain. People would, we wouldn't want to pay to see it if we could go get the real thing.
Do you believe that lonely, sexless men are more likely to be violent, and if so, why?
Yes, because they got a lot of pressure built up.
Them the most calmest ones. They sitting in the crib, playing their video games, beating their meat, eating their Cheetos, you know, just kicking it, being fat, cool guys at the crib, you know. I'm just saying, I can't judge nobody, you feel me? Because, hey, I probably was that one time, you know.
But I don't agree with that other guy. I don't think it would necessarily take away from OnlyFans and porn. People fail to realize that when it comes to sex and you know, when it comes to sexual fantasies, everybody's different. You know, some people like to watch. Some people like to participate. So everybody is different. People that are turned on by one thing and not the other, they're still going to be turned on by the other thing. You know, a lot of guys, they prefer to watch. They may be unable to perform. So I don't think it'll take away from the OnlyFans content. And here's the thing. Just because prostitution is legal does not mean the woman you fantasize about will become a prostitute. So the woman that you support on OnlyFans, she's not necessarily going to become a prostitute. So you still can support her on OnlyFans.
So if prostitution was cheap and accessible, do you think there would be less sexual violence?
Yes.
If so, would you be in support of making that possible despite the fact that it objectifies women?
No.
Why?
I disagree. Guys that participate, and I'm getting this from because I watch a lot of documentaries and I watch the things on those sexual sadists and people like that. A lot of those guys, that is the part that turns them on. The chase, the hunt, the turning them down. They get pleasure from that. You know, if that, there's already prostitutes out there. Think about this. If you are participating in SA, you're already breaking the law. So if prostitution was the answer or the cure, then they would never commit SA. They would just go get a prostitute. It shouldn't matter if prostitution is legal or illegal. They're already committing illegal acts themselves, where the punishment is harsher. If prostitution was the answer, they would have already just said, oh, I'll just go get a prostitute. So the legalizing prostitution isn't going to take away from that. People that do that, that's what they do. There's already women out there that would sleep with them for money or maybe really like them. And it hasn't stopped them from doing that. They're going to do what they do. I don't see prostitution ending that.
Why?
Because,
Don't you want to live in a safer society?
yeah, but I wouldn't do it, but I mean, everybody can do their own thing, whatever.
Most women don't like being considered prostitutes. So I think the labels kind of turn women off.
You have a lot of tension built up that you need to release sexually, you know, and if you don't have a partner for that, or at least access to, you know, some kind of open sexual relationship you can get into, then you're going to be probably more hostile and on edge, I believe.
So if prostitution was cheap and accessible, do you think there would be less sexual violence?
I do. Less sexual violence? Absolutely. 100%.
If so, would you be in support of making that possible despite the fact that it objectifies women?
I think that even if it was legal, it would still be their choice. So I don't think it objectifies women.
Hoflation is a term which describes the increase in price men have to pay for lower value women. Men have more competition than ever. Women have more options than ever. In essence, dating has now become a luxury commodity, and the only option is for men to step their game up. Why should men be expected to bring more to the table than they ever have in order to please women who bring less to the table than they ever have?
Because that's just how it is. I don't know. Men are supposed to be providers. If they have to bring more to the table, it's just because that's the society we live in today. Things cost more nowadays.
And how's that working out for us?
Barely.
Why?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. When I go to the gas station, I still see men sitting in the car and a girl is outside of the car pumping the gas. I still see men driving a women's car. I don't think people. I think it's cool to say that women are demanding more from men, and people want to run with that narrative because it's the whole I'm a boss, oh, women rule the world, women rule, man drool. It sounds cool to say, but I don't think it's true. I don't think guys are paying more, doing more, anything at all. At all. Seriously, at all. I don't believe it. You just open your eye when you're walking around and you can tell. When, not to talk bad about people, but you can tell when you see some of these couples, you can see it didn't take much for that guy to get with her. You can just do it through observation. I think this is what I do see. I think these guys, some of them, are going after a certain image, and with that image comes certain financial responsibilities. So if you're going after a woman who I guess wants to call herself, what they say now, a baddie or something like that, and she just thinks that, oh, if a guy dates me, he's got to buy me this or buy me that. But there's plenty of women out here that's not like that you could date and go after. And that's why I was saying before, when I started this video, people make things complicated. Not all women want these expensive, crazy dates and these bags and all this other stuff. I see regular women, I see regular people all the time walking around and they ain't got all that crazy crap on them. They're just regular, normal people that just want somebody nice that can have a nice conversation, keep their word, be an honest person to go out on a date with. So I don't agree with that part. May be true for some people, but I don't in any way think it's the majority at all. I think most women don't ask for enough. And that's my honest answer.
Why should men be expected to bring more to the table than they ever have in order to please women who bring less to the table than they ever have?
We shouldn't have to. I think women need to start lowering their standards and men need to start raising their standards, or we're just going to be sitting there. It's going to be a horrible society.
If most men are average and women's standards are delusional, why isn't prostitution a more practical solution than telling men to all become high value?
Well, I mean, I think that is what, like, if you're a low value man and that's what you got to do, then yeah, I would, then resort to prostitution. But I feel like every man personally, you should work on yourself value yourself first, and then, once you start chasing yourself, the women are going to chase you.
If legalizing prostitution would be a game changer, why is it never talked about on any of these podcasts?
We talking about it now.
It's like everybody like it, but ain't nobody gonna talk about it.
Because they look at prostitutes as disgusting, horrible women, and they think of us as the very bare minimum. You're a prostitute, you don't have nothing to offer.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe people just scared of the subject. They probably not ready for it yet.
Could it be because they're pushing their own conservative agenda?
Yes.
These guys, they push their conservatism agenda so much. Like Andrew Tate, for instance, he pushes that shit. He pushes it all the way. And when you do it all the way, you kind of got to, disagree with prostitution being illegal because that's a libertarian. That's a liberal thing.
Do you think the solution could be prostitution, the world's oldest institution?
I think that you should have the right to do with what you want with your body, whether that's prostitution, abortion, whatever it is. I think that, to a certain extent, you should have, as long as it doesn't harm other human beings, then you should have rights to do whatever you want with your body.
Why is my body, my choice acceptable when it comes to abortion, but not when it comes to prostitution, the draft, or vaccine mandates?
Control, man. Just control. I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or anything, but there's a deeper purpose behind things. They try to get us to fall in line, at least to some extent, if it's going to line their pockets. And if it's not lining their agenda and it's not lining their pockets, then they're not going to back it, and eventually one day when they can figure out a way for it to line their pockets, it will be legal, and they'll all act like they never were against it.
Wouldn't it end simping and shift the sexual marketplace to where women would have to compete for the men?
Yes, it would actually. It would very much so, because it would make it more accessible for men to get what they need.
I don't know if it would end simping, but it would shift the marketplace.
In some areas where you got like a lot of prostitutes on the corner, they kind of be, in competition for the next, the next big baller and all of that. So it's already kind of women in competition.
Why should men pay for the opportunity to maybe get sex instead of just paying for sex?
Why not just pay for the sex? Why get a maybe?
If you really love this woman, if you really like this woman, this is really what you want, I think you should, put the money into it and put the time into it. However, if it's just meaningless sex, or if it's just, a conversation and it leads to sex, and you end up buying drinks and shit, it ain't worth it.
Wouldn't relationships be built on love rather than sex and manipulation?
Yes, relationships should be built on love and respect. 100%.
It revolves around manipulation. We read books. Men read books. Neil Strauss. All these books about game, in the sense that we're trying to gain game and manipulate women to have sex, when in reality, we don't even want the love. We just want the sex. But it results in women falling in love because we're giving them the illusion of love. And then when we do that, we don't really want love. And then when women really want love, all we have is sex for them. So it's kind of, it's kind of like a backwards game. It's crazy.
Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Yeah, actually, it would limit so much emotional and actual physical abuse.
If you're depending on sex to make you feel better, or another person or anything, then that just shows that, you're not working on your spirit.
Wouldn't men...
That guy, he was right with that one. He was right with that one. You know what? I don't feel bad for these men that feel like they wasting their money and not getting no sex. A date is not. I guess it depends on what you're going out on a date for. I didn't know a date was for you to have sex. Don't ask somebody out. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because when you ask somebody out and you say, I want to get to know you, you're the guy. You decide where you're going to go. You decide how much money you want to spend, and you take them out. If if it's going to be a problem with you, the money you spend, then perhaps you shouldn't be taking someone out on a date, to be honest with you. And I've noticed a lot of people, and this goes back to the whole friend zone conversation. Quit wasting your time with people. It's a lot of women out there that want to have sex, just like it's a lot of guys out there that want to have sex. Mess with people that want to mess with you. A lot of these guys, they want to go after a woman, and they think that if they spend the right amount of money, if they take them to the right place, that that woman will want to sleep with them. I don't know that they put the thought in beforehand, before they spend the money, before they ask them out on a date, before they get the phone number. What is the chemistry, the connection? What is drawing me to this person? I think a lot of guys go, ooh, look, pretty girl. What's your name? What's your number? I take you out on a date. And that's not a recipe to get access to sex. It's just not. It's a little deeper than that. And if that's the way that you are dating, I think you will end up frustrated, because you will be wasting your time with a lot of people that, if you knew how to find people that are on the same type time you're on, you will have a better success rate. Someone that you find pretty that you ask out on a date doesn't owe you sex. You ask them out, they say, okay, yeah, whatever, I'll go eat with you. It's like, you see what I'm saying? And I think that's what I think guys do. They just ask any pretty girl out, spend money, and they think after that date, what happens is sex. And I'm like, is that your game plan? Because it's a technique to it. You have guys that are highly successful, but they know how and who to ask out. And a lot of guys, I think, honestly, don't even know how to date. And I'm gonna make a video about that, definitely. For sure. But I'm hearing what they're saying, and I get what they're saying, but it really ain't that hard. I'm sorry, I'm trying to choose my words carefully, but we live in a society with all these STDs and diseases, single motherhood. People are having sex. It cannot be that hard with a low divorce rate. When they do studies on what's the average amount of sexual partners people have, men and women and stuff, people out here having sex and stuff. So there's already this easy access to sex. And that's all I'm trying to say. You know, for people who feel like they're wasting their money on dates and stuff like that, those are the people that just don't know how to date. They don't know how to go out here and meet people. And that's their struggle. But that's not the norm, is all I'm saying.
be less pitted against each other to compete for women.
Yes, there is so much war between men trying to get the same girl. It's insane.
The competition, like I said, it'll equal out the playing field. You know what I mean? So like we have the 1% and we have us. I'm not 1%. I'm not a multi-millionaire in the bank. I work on things and I do work hard, and I'm probably more than the average man. But you know what? Like it would equal out the playing field. It would make it fair for all of us to play the same game.
Wouldn't it flood the market and drive down prices?
Yeah, actually it would. It would. It would eliminate so much stuff like the black market.
Hoflation, right? Hoflation. So hoflation, you know, it would bring down the price. Supply and demand. It's a simple economics, you know.
Men are not in competition with other men. That is a big lie. And you are definitely not in competition with the 1% because it's so low. You're not in competition with that guy. It's not enough of him for there to even be a competition. And plus, women like who they like. That's the sad truth about it. Women like who they like. Like I hate when guys bring up the 1%. Let's quit talking about this 1% guy that we never meet. He's somewhere. He's like Batman. We don't really know who he is. Look, and we do know who Batman is. You know what I mean. But for the average, regular, everyday guy meeting the average, everyday, regular woman, you're never in competition with any other guy because people are weird, right? You could be what seems to be the best option for a person, but they always going to choose who they really like. And it could be something weird, like this person has a pointier nose than you, and they just in love with that person's pointy nose. You're never really even in. We've created this fake competitive world, which is weird. You know, you're really not in competition with anybody. Because the person that's for you is for you, and they're going to like you. And it could be a better person than you standing right next to you, and they still going to like you. And when you think about it, you like, I wonder what she with me for, you know, or what he with me for. It's always somebody better than you. There is no real competition. The person that like and love you, there is no real competition. You're not in competition with anybody. Not the regular everyday person. Because if you're a regular everyday person, you are not at a party with Chris Brown and in competition with him. Like, stop it. It's fake. It's made up. You're overcomplicating it for no reason in the world.
Yeah. So, yeah, of course.
We have the black market, sex trafficking, all genders, all ages now. Like, it's actually even scarier now. Before, it was safer. You had security guards. You had people protecting you. You had people making sure everything was going about the right way and the safe way.
Can you think of any reasons not to legalize it?
Really, no, I can't.
I think it's a drug. And I think the more you do the drug, the more you're going to be into it, the more you're going to be okay with it. And it creates a problem in certain people. If you have like an addictive personality or whatever, like you're going to keep doing it. And, you know, it might be a problem with your wife. You know, if you're having sex with hookers and you have a wife, I think that's a problem. Don't do that to your wife, bro.
What are your thoughts on the expression, every man pays for sex?
I agree.
You're going on a date and you have to spend your money for her to like you more. Some people don't do that. I got guys that don't do nothing for no females. Nothing. You hear me? And they still giving that cat up.
Well, we all pay for sex. And if it's not money, it's investment. Or you know what it is? It's me working as hard as I can to be able to provide for a woman. You know, just to be able to be the best person I can be so she can keep around, you know, stay with me. Or be able to like not run away with my kids and be like, hey, this is a good man, I can stay with him. And if it's not, you know, paying for it, like, you know, with actual like, hey, me swiping a card, it's me working in the gym.
What's up, affiliate marketers? How you doing? Michael Baschi here. Now, really quick, listen, I know you don't want to be here. I know you'd rather go see whatever video
gym. It's me working 2 jobs. It's me working 3 jobs. It's me working my ass off just so I can, maintain a family.
Every woman pays for sex in a way too. You could that expression could go both ways. Whether it's not money, it could not be money, but I mean, at the end of the day, when they go to bed and at night and they slept with 10 men this week, it's like it's a lot more degrading for them. They probably feel that a lot more than I would if I banged 10 chicks this week. That's just being honest.
Is it generally true that men seek the hottest woman they can afford, while women seek the richest man they can attract?
Yes.
Don't men want trophy wives and women want sugar daddies?
Yes.
So how is dating not already just a loose form of prostitution?
It is a loose form of prostitution.
So then why would we not just legalize it?
Got me. Got a good point.
It's a loose form of prostitution. Maybe it is actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Why is it often said that prostitution is the world's oldest profession?
Because women been exchanging sex for goods since the beginning of time.
Because it is actually. It used to be legalized. It used to be okay. It's actually, I'm pretty sure, okay in some other states and countries.
I'm not big in the Bible, but, I'm not very religious. But the Bible was what I grew up on, and they told me that was the first job ever created. Because men have a need. And when they have a need, they'll pay for it. So if there's one need that we all have, we fight wars for, we work jobs for, it's for sex, to be real.
Or maybe resources.
Nah, man, it'd be sex.
Resources to get sex.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you make money to get sex, bro. Like, that's how it goes. You fight wars, you do these things to get sex. And, pussy is the most important thing to a man. And I'm going to be real with you.
I don't know. That's all I have. I'm done. I can't take no more. Anyways, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. Man, I appreciate all the support. Everybody who's already subscribed. Man, from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you leave a comment below. Let me know what y'all think, man, how y'all feel about this particular topic. Should prostitution be legal? I already gave you my answer. You already know how I'm voting. Y'all have a good night. Risky out.
Risky behavior.